Hello fam, how you guys doing? Welcome to the Lovely Camie Show. Shalom, shalom, shalom. You know, I have been missing in action for the past few weeks because life have been happening, of course. Busy, but I am so thrilled to be back here at For Jasper TV. It's always a privilege to be in the land of the living. I mean, it's like for us to be able to get up and every day to go on and do what we do best, it's all the glory to God, you know, and I give God praise and honor to be able to be here, be at your house, to enter your home, to basically bring you the Lovely Camie Show. We want to say a great thank you to Radio Nouvelle Lumière, parce que nous connaissons que nous broadcast into Radio Nouvelle Lumière. Nous disons un grand merci avec eux-mêmes. WZOP in Broward, that you will be listening to us. We want to say welcome again to the Lovely Camie Show. We want to give a great shout out to WLG for allowing me entering into your home. We want to say another thank you to Radio Delta et encore qui capable attendre notre côté. Nous disons merci d'être capable quitter nous entrer la caillou pour nous capable parler de Lovely Camie Show. We have a treat for you today, and of course do not forget our For Diaspora TV, our hometown. We put chapeau bas devant For Diaspora TV pour grand travail qu'il a fait dans la communauté noire. Again, we want to say welcome to the Lovely Camie Show, and we want to remind you about Assured for Life, where we basically cover 7 members in your family for only $70 a month. Now, Assured for Life is not insurance, but it is a funeral assistance plan where you can cover 7 members of your family. We cover 48 states. Only North Dakota and Michigan that we don't cover. That's when you have no reason to allow your family to pass away and for you to scratch your head, you don't know how to bury your loved one. So that's basically why Assured for Life is there, to give you a peace of mind when your loved one passed away. You don't have to go to GoFundMe. You'll be able to just call Assured for Life and we'll do the funeral for you. Again, Assured for Life is not an insurance, but it is a funeral assisted plan that gives you the opportunity to have a peace of mind when your loved one passed away. We can do the funeral for you. We give a round trip ticket to the plan holder to go wherever your loved one may be. And we also give the opportunity to basically transfer the deceased to their original hometown. So basically Assured for Life offered so many, opportunity. So please do not allow your family to pass away, and then that's when you are scratching your head to ask to people to let you or help you bury your loved one. So please call for Assured for Life, 561-313-5979, to make sure to assure your family. Today I am here with a wonderful guest. Okay, I have a treat for you today. So I'm going to go ahead and let my guest introduce herself. Say hello to you before we embark into what we are here for. Say hello to the guest.
Hello, my name is BIANCA DELOACH, a survivor of domestic violence, motivational speaker, and your community advocate. I'm here today by the grace of God, and I am thrilled to have the opportunity to give you some tips and some tricks on how to survive in the midst of domestic violence, which happens to at least one out of 3 women and 1 out of 4 men will experience domestic violence, and most don't even say anything. So thank you so much, Camie, for inviting me to your show. It is going to be a wonderful conversation.
Yes, it will. So again, welcome to the Lovely Camie Show. You know how I always do it. Shalom, shalom. Today, whatever it is that you have going on in your life, please let it just fall out of your shoulder.
Absolutely.
And give all praise and all glory to God.
Absolutely.
Let no nerve, no anxiety be in your home. Like, chase away all that and let God be the center of everything you do. So again, let's embark in what we are here for. We are talking about domestic violence. And that's something basically that happened a lot in our community. And sometimes we don't talk about it. Sometimes we always in the shh about that. Correct. But since we are living in a very vast world, the world is changing. And the thing that we used to put under the table is no longer under the table. Everything is coming out. So now we are able to talk about you know, the thing that we've been, you know, putting under the rug, we want to bring them out with no shame. We want to stand strong and tell our testimony. And today, that's why we are here to embark in domestic violence. So my very first question for you today, what is domestic violence?
Domestic violence, in short, is a relationship that you are in. You just put it in simple terms, a relationship that you're in, whether it be intimate or just family, and it becomes violent. So it encompasses, or it has the physical, the financial, the mental, the sexual aspect of being abused. So it is a very broad term that can't just be put into, oh, well, they just hit me. No, it's more than that.
Right, right.
Domestic violence.
Okay, so now, before we enter too deep into it, now, is there resource out there for domestic people that have been, you know, involved in domestic violence?
So because this is a national issue, it's not just for one set of community or low income. This happens over many socioeconomic communities, whether you're rich or poor. Domestic violence is prone to happen. And so the resource that I will give out is, it's called the Hotline, thehotline.com. And you can visit that particular website in the event that you are in a domestic violent situation. You can even text 88788 to receive additional assistance, like if you have access to your phone and you need to text someone to give you the resource for your community. If all else fails, call 911. I always state to people, in the event that you know that you are with a violent individual and they are like Jekyll and Hyde. One moment they're great, and behind closed doors, you don't know who this person is. Make sure you have a keyword and a safe word. And this word you will share with your closest family member who is not associated with your abuser, so that when you call and you start the conversation with your keyword, they know that it's time to get you to a safe space. And they will do whatever is necessary to help you because you've used this keyword. And you can share it with your employer as well, an individual within your workspace that you can trust, because domestic violence happens anywhere and at any time.
Absolutely. Now, by you saying that, it just reminded me of a clip that I saw, someone that was being abused, and she called 911 while her abuser was in the house with her, and she pretended as though it was pizza that she was ordering. I don't know if you saw that clip.
I haven't.
And it's like, she's like, I'm ordering the pizza, and they're like, okay, what do you want? No, do you want some topic? And it's like, no. Okay, is the you know, they asking her question, but she's answering as though she's ordering the pizza.
Right.
But really, in reality, she was giving information that she was being abused. I think that was a fantastic way. When you said keyword, using keyword, that's very important for people to know. Like, if you are being abused by someone that you are not able to name, hey, I'm, because the person is there, so you're afraid. So by using those keywords, as you said, will help whoever in the other side to know, hey, something is happening.
Correct.
So by saying that, let's talk about some of the abuse.
Okay.
What are some of the, because we're talking about domestic violence. So what are some of the signs, some things that you can call to say, okay, this is an abuse, or what are some of the stuff?
So in the beginning, most abusers have a narcissistic behavior pattern. So they are very calm, gentle, loving, nice in the beginning. I call it it's called the honeymoon stage, right? So if you think about someone who's going on a honeymoon, everything is great. Everything is blissful. It doesn't look like anything is going on, but there comes a time when it starts to build tension. You can trigger this person because they have unhealed areas in their life. I feel like domestic violence is stemmed and rooted out of self-hate. You know, this person hates themselves or hates something about the world, and so they take this anger out on the person that they're abusing. And with that being said, there is this honeymoon phase. The honeymoon phase leads to the tension building phase, where now it's every little thing, they're nitpicking every little thing, and now this tension is building, and like a volcano, it eventually explodes. And when you have this explosion, that's where all of the abuse happens. That's where, you know, the name calling, the pushing, the shoving, the belittling of you, where they withhold resources. So if you are like from another country and you come over and you are with someone who you believe loves you, they will withhold resources, withhold money from you. So now you can't call your family. Now you can't leave. Now because now you're in a different place. You don't know anybody, and they'll just withhold different things from you because they know they have the upper hand. And most times after that, it may lead to sexual abuse. You don't want to engage sexually with this person because they just beat you up like 20 minutes ago. What do I want to have sex with this person for? They don't care. It's about power and it's about control. And so sexual abuse will happen. And in some cases, sexual abuse may happen first. And then they just cause you to become their captive. So now, so they rape you, and now you're held in captivity by this person who's going to abuse you and make you feel that you can't get away because you don't know where you are, and you can't get away because if you try to leave, I'm going to kill you. And those are just very scary situations, but for the most part, it always starts off really sweet. You'll notice little nitpicking here and there. A lot of control, a lot of power, dominance being displayed, and you look at these subtle signs. Another subtle sign is they try to control who you're speaking to, your family. Which family members are you speaking to? And then they try to cause a wedge, you know, cause a separation between your closest family members, cause issues between you and the closest family members, because they will I used to say, you hit and then you hide your hand. You act like your hands are clean, but your hands are really dirty. But to the outside world, all they see is me responding to you as my abuser, me getting upset, me being frustrated, me yelling, me screaming, me, you know, showing different emotions. Meanwhile, the abuser's like, see what I said? Oh, you see, I told you, she's like this, she's like that. And it's like, no, this is what he just did to me. What? You don't know that he just did this to me. So
you touched on something that's very important as far as for sexual abuse concerned. That's something that are happening in our community a whole lot, and sometimes right under our nose, and we don't even realize that our children are being sexually abused, either by their father, by their uncle, you know, things are happening. And our children is kind of like afraid, whether if it's the boys or the girl are being abused right in front of us. And sometimes they don't feel safe to even go to their mother to say, Mom, my dad is doing this, or my uncle is doing this. The kids end up growing up, you know, with the, you know, the abuser in the house, you know, and like feel like she's feel unsafe. Because just like you mentioned, saying that the abuser said, if you tell so-and-so, I will kill you. Or if you tell so-and-so, I will say, you the one who initiated, you know. And you as a kid, your mind cannot comprehend how a grown man would say, I'm the one who initiate sexual act, and you believe it. So how do kid, you know, like say for instance, a 8-year-old or a 10-year-old, how can they find refuge on telling their parent about their abuser, especially when they leave with the abuser?
You know, that's a very touchy subject, and it's touchy because that has happened, right? I've experienced it. I waited until I was 30 something to tell my mother, but then my child experienced it. And the thing that I will say to parents, especially women, first and foremost, you have God. He is the author and the finisher of faith, the creator of all things. That means he created the person, and that person decided to turn away from them and go after a different type of God, whether it's them being their own God or just worshiping Satan himself, which is very prevalent. Witchcraft is very prevalent. It's everywhere, okay? So you don't ever want to forget God first. And what I'm saying to women is you have to reestablish trust within your relationship with your children. You have to be open and communicate with them. Show them your vulnerability. I know that there was a time where you could not talk about certain subjects with your parent. It was taboo. We're not going to talk about sex with our child. We're not going to talk about if somebody touched you, what goes on in this house stays in this house. And those are elements that will destroy and break the trust between a parent and a child. When God created all things, it was man first, woman, and then children. The children were to come up under the woman so that she would be able to express what was necessary to the child for them to understand. And so you have to find, because what happens in a domestic violence situation, the woman has been battered herself so much that she loses hope. She's depressed. She is not positive, so therefore her world is not positive.
Right.
She's now speaking death within her own life, and she's attracting it. Meanwhile, her children are being the subject of more violence. They not only see the violence, but now they're being violated, and they don't feel that they can speak to their own birth mother or their own mother for help. And what I would say to children is, because I speak to children all the time, and I always say, if you can't find that your mother will listen to you, look around your life, because God will always place someone else in your life that will be willing to hear you, and you speak to that person, and that person will get you the help that you need.
And there's another thing that you said. I mean, children are not the only aspect of abuse. We have grown men, grown women that are still, living in a world of abuse. And they feel as though they are stuck, rather because they are with someone that have more finance, capability than them. And they feel as though, okay, if I leave that person, where am I gonna go? And they accept anything and everything that the person is doing to them.
Okay, so I'm going to share a piece of my story, okay?
Go ahead.
Because what you're saying, I experienced A to Z.
Okay.
And I think I had to experience it in order to help save another person and give them insight on how to survive. You have to be, as God says, be as wise as a serpent.
Right.
So if you know you have this snake with you and this snake about to bite you, you got to be wise like them. You have to play that same little game in order for you to see survive another day and survive. Yes. So if I noticed that my abuser he walked in and he seemed real happy, I would be real happy. I wouldn't do anything to trigger him. I'm not gonna bring up anything that I know is gonna be frustrating to him. We just gonna enjoy this moment. You want to walk down the street and you want us all to walk down the street. I don't know why we have to walk down the street. We got a car, but I'm going to walk down this street with you. You want to hold hands? Okay, I'll hold your hand, because we're putting on a facade. We're pretending for the world to see that we're a great big happy family when we know that's not the truth. Okay, and so if he came in and he was real frustrated, and you can hear it in their voice, the way they say hi, the way they come in and take off their shoes, the way they put off their jacket, you can tell how they're feeling. And so what I would do is, as soon as I noticed it, I went to my children. Okay, listen, he's having a bad day. Let's not even frustrate him anymore. Let's just sit in this area and wait for him to acknowledge us. So now I'm not adding any fat to the fire. Once he shows that he's now calm, now we can engage and work with him. After I had to be intimate with him, when I didn't want to be intimate with him, I was focused on starting my YouTube channel. He tried to snatch my phone away from me. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, we were just intimate. Now you're snatching my phone away. What do you need my phone for? Let me have my phone. Oh, no, I'm taking your phone today. I said, no, you can't take my phone, because remember, I have our children. What if something happens? Now, mind you, he had already spoken about, somebody said that they were trying to kill you. And I said, but why would somebody try to kill me? I'm not from this place. I don't know anybody here. I haven't done anything. I stay in the house. And he said, well, I'm still taking your phone today. I said, you're not taking my phone, not today. From there, he went into I think it's like a psychotic memory where he thought about what others have done to him. Other women he trusted, and how they violated him, and how they got rid of, had an abortion, or how he may have been touched in the past. And he went on this whole tangent, and I was just sitting there, and I said, okay, just stay calm. And I said, all I need to do is just get my phone. So I'm sitting there just thinking, how can I get my phone from him? And at the time, he started to belittle me. And I said, well, that's fine. You didn't think this way when you decided that we should be married. And from there, he turned around, and I reached over to pull out the plug to my phone, because I said my phone was going dead. He's going to need my charger to charge my phone. So if I take my charger, then he's not going to be able to use my phone either. And well, at least that's what I was thinking, 6 o'clock in the morning. But he then attempted to kick me in my face. And when he did that, I quickly blocked his kick. And from there, he lifted me up by my neck. I was a little smaller then, well, much smaller then. I was wearing a size 8. And he lifted me up by my neck. And from there, I was now struggling. Okay, now I have to breathe. My children are in the other room asleep. They don't know anything is going on. He's highly upset just because he's having a flashback of memories. And I used to say, you have to heal. Healing is a necessary part of self-love.
Right.
If you love yourself, you will heal. You will confront those inner wounds, and you will do something with it. You will talk to the abuser. You will look for solace. If you can't talk to the abuser, write that abuser a letter and then burn it if you can't talk to him, or read it out loud and throw it away. But get it out, so that you're not taking that frustration and anger out on another individual who's not deserving of it, because all they're doing is showing you love. So fast forward, he continued to choke me, and I'm still trying to grab to my phone, because now I need my phone to call the police. And I'm sitting here, and I'm like just just please, now I can't breathe. And I remember him saying so clearly, "Where's your God at now?" And I started tearing up, and now I'm starting to cry because now I'm gasping for air. And I said, "Lord, please do not let this man mock you. You said you are a God that cannot be mocked." See, the thing about the word of God is it's a literal thing.
Right.
And you can literally use the word as a weapon because it is your weapon.
Absolutely.
And if you use the word in the proper manner while you're sincerely, earnestly praying, God says, "I have given my angels charge over you." And these angels will protect you.
Right.
I've prayed. I said, "Lord, don't let him mock you. Please, I need help." As soon as I said that, all you heard was boom, 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 boom at my front door. It's 6:30 in the morning. And I'm like, as soon as he heard that, he let me go. I grabbed my phone.
Wow.
And I moved out of the way. And somebody was standing, this little short lady, her name was Nisha. She was my neighbor. She was supposed to move out, but she stayed in her apartment an extra week longer. She had a gun.
Wow.
And as soon as he opened the door, the gun was right there. "She might be scared of you, but I will blow you up." And I'm just looking at her like, "Girl, the gun is about big as you." Thank you so much.
Yeah, so God used her to come and, save you that day.
Exactly. And 3 days later, because once I walked into the room with my children, I locked myself into the room. Because her pulling out that gun made him sit down. He was then quiet. He was like humble. He ain't had nothing else to say. All his aggression was out the window. Him needing to go to work was no longer a factor because he didn't even go to work that day. So he made a big fuss about nothing. And just wanting to exercise his power and control. And the young lady said, "I've been listening to you beat this girl for so long, and the Lord just kept telling me to get up. I am so sick and tired of this." As I'm in my room, there is an infomercial that comes on the TV. There was one of those shows with the judges, and the judge asked the man, why did he hit the girl? And then they said, "Well, we're going to determine the paternity. We'll be right back." Shortly after that, there was a clip that came on that says, "If you have been abused, call us for help." Now, I was in a different state, so they flashed their state number. And then shortly after that, there was breaking news. A woman had just been killed by her abuser.
So did you find yourself, did you find it difficult before the lady came in? You've been living with him for a while, correct?
Yes.
So did you find it to be difficult to get away from him?
The reason, because I made money, right? So I was making money, and there was a period of time where I lost my housing because I had a flood in the apartment and everything became molded. Because it took them so long to come and clean up the standing water. So I had to leave the apartment, and I found myself in an unstable situation where I ended up losing my job because I was working from home as an insurance agent, taking calls for Medicare. And so at that point, I was living off of my savings, my income tax money, and I had a few stocks that I had through Aflac, and I was selling the stocks little bit by little bit to keep me afloat because, again, financial abuse is real. They take away your ability to have money. So he didn't care if some days he left and there was no food in the house. He didn't care if we didn't have anything. He wanted to be the knight in shining armor, right? And so he would make it seem like he's coming in to save the day, when in actuality we've been suffering all day, and you knew this, and you make it seem like I'm the issue, when in actuality you're throwing your rock and you're hiding your hand. So it was difficult to leave because I was in a different city, I was in a different state, I wasn't home here in Florida. And what happened was When I tried to leave the first time, I lost all my luggage. When I came back, because he had to help me come back because it was in a different city, I had to get a better strategy. So that time, leaving 3 days later, what I ended up doing was catching a Lyft, sitting at a train station all night long, and then catching the next bus out to get back to safety.
So we're about to wrap up, but let me ask you, does, since you leave, with an abuser, you interact with him, do you think abuser have, the mindset to change, to be a better person? Since we talk about, God, is good or whatnot.
A person has the ability to change if a person is willing to heal. If a person is not willing to heal and to forgive, forgiveness is the greatest key factor. If they're not willing to forgive, then they're not going to even forgive themselves for the things that they did to someone else.
So would you say now, fast forward 2 years later, now we are here 2 years later.
Yeah, this literally 2 years later, people. It is by the grace of God. I'm so excited.
Oh my God. So, I mean, for me, normally when someone, is able to talk about what they've been through is, a form of healing.
It is.
So I really think, praise God for you to be able to, come here and be vulnerable, putting yourself out there to talk about your testimony, your, what you've been through. I mean, it's, for people that are listening, that's going to the same thing.
Let me say something really quick. What's really important. When you leave your abuser, give yourself time and understand that you're starting over with experience. You're not starting over from the bottom, even if you don't have anything. I came back with a bag and a small sack, a box full of books. Okay? I didn't have anything, but I started from where I was. Give yourself time to heal. Once you get to a place where you can you're financially okay, it's okay if you cry. There were many days I took a call and the person on the phone would say something about a marriage. I started crying. I took a break. Oh, Bianca, you've been on 3 breaks today. Listen, it's either me taking a break or I'm going to clock out for today. I have to give myself time because it's now mental abuse as well. And you have to, it's like a grieving process. You have to give yourself time to heal, to grieve, to cry. There were many days I cried.
And it's important when you go through things in life. It's okay to cry because tear is a gift that God gave us.
Yes.
To cry. So
Yes.
people like, because by you holding things in, it's like you hurting yourself.
Yes.
So let the tears flow.
Yes.
But I want to basically, to wrap up this, I want to basically challenge those of you that are living with an abuser or who are going through the format of abuse. Let me tell you, do not allow yourself to continue to be abused, whether if it's be verbal abuse or you're being abused physically, you can get away.
Yes.
Do not, put excuse out there, because us as women, we tend to put excuse for our abuser. Oh, he'll change. Oh, he'll get better. No. I mean, if he's verbally abusing you, saying things to you that, that he have no business saying, get away from that person. Please. Because let me tell you something, because the more you stay by someone that are belittling you, putting you down, saying you can't do this, you can't do that, it gets into you. It gets to your system to the point where you feel so low. Yeah. Sometimes even in friendship, some, people tend to control you. People tend to speak negative over your life. Get away from everybody, anything that seems to be negative in your world, because we're living in a very stressful, world already. We don't need anyone, any friend or anybody in our lives that will, instead of bringing us to be better, but then yet they are bringing us, down. Get away. And you can do it without that person. Yeah. You have everything it takes to do it without that person. Whether if it's your finance that is not where it needs to be, listen, God will provide.
That's right.
God will always provide for you. He will. That's why the Bible says he'll never put more on you than you can bear.
Yes.
So if the problem comes before you, it's because God knows you have what it takes to see it through. Yes. Listen, always tap into the greater in you. Because the Bible says greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Correct. The great I am live inside of you. That means you have the power, the ability to conquer whatever it is that you face. Today, again, we want to say a huge thank you to For Jasper TV that gave us the opportunity to come here to basically, you know, give Becca the opportunity to share her story. Am I saying your name?
Bianca.
Bianca. I'm saying Bianca, but Bianca to come and share her story. It is such a powerful story because let me tell you something, so many people are dying out there, you know.
So just a lady died the other day. Faith is what you need. You have to have faith, and you don't express where your safety location is. When you realize that you need to leave, the young lady that recently passed away, she went to the police station. That man was at the police station. When she got back home because they did not help her, she died 30 minutes later. What should she have done? Gone to a different location. Caused him to keep driving around in circles until he was tired of following her. You know, go to the mayor's office. Speak with someone there. Know what's around you. If you can't get one person to help you, ask for a different person. While she was at the police station, she could have asked for the sergeant, asked for the lieutenant. You keep going up. You don't leave because you're in that situation and nobody can feel your pain but you. So make sure you use your voice. This is what God gave you your voice for, and have faith. Thank you so much for listening.
All right, you guys. So like we said, thank you for you know, give us the opportunity to come to your home to speak with you about domestic violence, because domestic violence is real. So do not allow yourself or anyone to, you know, bully you around. And if you feel as though that your life is in jeopardy, please keep reaching out to the people that's around you so that they can help you, you know, resolve whatever situation it is. So again, we want to say thank you to For Jasper TV, and we want to say thank you to Radio Nouvelle Lumière for allowing us to come to your home. And we want to say thank you again to WZOP in Broward. Thank you to WLVG that are listening. We want to say thank you to Radio Delta that are listening. And we want to say thank you again to WOTS that are listening. Shout out to y'all. And I want to say again a huge thank you to our hometown, For Jasper TV in Palm Beach. What? So we are leveling up, you know what I'm saying? So we want to say thank you to Dr. Alan Daphnis. Thank you to all the staff that are here to just make sure we do our, you know, wonderful job, and then also looking our best every time we come here. Shout out to you, and we want to say thank you. Shalom, shalom, shalom. We love you, and welcome again to the Lovely Camie Show. We will see you next time. Peace out.
Bye.